In Austria, there are energy communities already in place. So Austria was sort of a forerunner in that respect. What are the lessons learned for Austria from this fast rollout?
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, in Austria, we have now more than 1,000 energy communities. And I'm still surprised by this number. I mean, we're a small country. We are not Germany. We're small. We are 8 million, 9 million people. So I think it's a really large number. And I think, yeah, there's some really interesting lessons learned from it. And what we can see for sure is anyway, that when you do it right, that you can engage the customers. I have been working on the topic how to get consumers to interact with demand response programs and this like for a really long time. And it was not always so easy. I think a lot of you know it. It's really hard to get people engaged. But with the energy communities, it's really, I have the feeling that the people want to engage with it. And I think this has several reasons. Some of them are, it's super simple. The concept is very easy to understand. And also it's social. So some years back, we thought about how to engage the people. And already back then we thought, okay, yeah, we really need to go via the key stakeholders, via the major, via the people to really interact with them and get them to participate. And I think the success of the energy communities shows that this is really true and that you can get people engaged on this social local level.
Sorry. There is a question matching very well to that. So do energy communities have the potential to support vulnerable communities as well? And how could this be achieved?
I will answer this, but please just let me answer the lessons learned. Because I think there's some nice things that you can learn from Austria, because I think the organizational barriers of energy communities can be really quite high, because a community has to do it by themselves. They have to have some contracts. They have to have a lot of things that I have to set up. And in Austria, we have a coordination body that was really implemented in the law that we, like Austria, has to do it, and they help communities who want to be, I don't know, who want to help in their first steps. They help them, and this really helps. And it really helps across Austria. We have energy communities like everywhere, not like in one region, but really everywhere. And so this, and then secondly, it's also regulated how the savings are split on the grid side. So this is really, so we have a clear allocation rule. There are two different ones, and the DSOs, they have to implement it. So the DSOs are forced by law to collaborate with the energy communities. And I think this is very important, because you need the DSOs for metering to get the data and everything, and they have to do the billing. So I think this is also very good success factor, that they have to do it and it's not voluntarily. And also that we have this clear rules for the allocation. I think this sometimes it's a little bit a hinder barrier for innovation, but on the other side, I think it's really helping, because it's so clear, and then you really know what to do, and you can have like standard contracts, for example, that you just change a bit. So now I want to come to the question that you asked regarding the vulnerable households. There was a questionnaire in Austria, and the TU Vienna, they asked 37 energy communities, and 18 answered. Thus, if they themselves perceive energy communities as an enabling factor for vulnerable people, and they and more than 70% of them, like around 70% of them, said yes, it helps. When you're part of our community, it helps to reduce the risk of energy poverty. But so this is a yes, but for me there's also a no part in it, because we have the grid tariffs. So reduced grid tariffs are possible when you're part of a local energy community or a local regional energy community. But the grid tariffs, I mean, when the energy community is grid friendly, really the costs are reduced. But very often, in case the energy community is not grid friendly, the investment costs of the cost of the grid operator stay the same. So some party energy community have reduced grid tariffs, so the others have to bear it. And it could be that there's a fairness issue. So I think that we should get energy communities grid friendly. When they're grid friendly, then they deserve to have reduced prices. And I think there's still a way to go. And I think we should really ensure that they support vulnerable people, like, for example, making it easy for social housing to participate in a big community, like an energy community, even when this social housing is provided by a large company. They are currently not allowed to participate. So I think there is a big potential, but they are not yet, we don't yet fully exploit the potential of supporting, to make it a vehicle to support vulnerable people to the full extent.